a series of short videos to help you learn Adobe Illustrator. So I have just loaded up Adobe Illustrator, as you can see here. It's going to look a little different if you're using a PC, but that's all good. So first thing is to create a new document. So it's similar to Photoshop. You can choose a preset by clicking on that, and it'll give you many different options. You can make it tall, wide. You can change it right now, it's in millimeters. It's probably the default as points, I think. You can make it centimeters. You should be able to make it inches as well if needs be. So I'm going to, A4 is UK standard for paper. I'm going to just go for the letter, and then we're going to hit create. You can also click on file and new. So anyway, create a new document. And the first thing you want to do is save. So file, save as, and even though this is not important, I'm just going to call it demo. I'm saving it onto the desktop, and you can see the file extension is AI. That's for Adobe Illustrator. If you go down to the format here, Adobe Illustrator is the equivalent of a .psd, a Photoshop file. So this is the native file for Adobe Illustrator. It doesn't have many options, but you get more if you export it. So an EPS is not something we need to worry about. Template, same again, don't worry. You can save your Adobe files as PDFs. SVGs, again, not a big thing. That was more a format that was used with Flash and so on. But anyway, I'm going to hit save, and we have saved. Now, before we continue, it has a couple of options here. Don't worry about the fonts part. You can make it PDF compatible. So what that means is if you save it as an Illustrator file, you should be able to open it with a PDF program. The really relevant thing is up here. So it says the version that you're saving it for is Illustrator 2020. So you could go back to an earlier version like Illustrator CC or Illustrator 9. It's your call. The reason for doing that is, say you're working with the newer version and you want to use it on another computer that doesn't have the latest version, you can do that. But again, if you've got an Adobe subscription, it shouldn't really be an issue anymore. Anyway, I'm going to keep it on Illustrator 2020 and then hit OK. So I'm going to just go and reset my essentials so you can see what it looks like. And this is what it will look like. I'm going to just move this around a little bit so we can see a little more of the screen. Blank page, it's on the square tool right now. But let's go and make some shapes. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the rectangle tool, and it lets you make rectangles. Make them really narrow, make them tall. If you hold on Shift, it will let you make a perfect square. If you hold on Option or Alt, if you're on a PC, when you click, what it'll do is wherever my point is, like for instance right here, if I click, it's going to emerge from the center here. So that can be useful. And again, I'm holding on Option or Alt, but if I hold on Shift, then it's going to be a perfect square. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because I want to keep these videos short. So see you in the next lesson.